Well, the day after tomorrow I'll be hauling pretty much the same stuff. Here you see a guy has what is it, John Deere? Pretty big excavator. The camera vibrates. So basically what happened is after I unloaded, my dispatch gave me a load picking up this big excavator 336 EL in Maryland. But the problem is that the port closed on Tuesday, so now it's going to reopen again on January 2nd. Today's December 31st. But as I mentioned, you know, it's on my previous video. It's a well-paying load, so I don't object too much. You know, it's either sit here or sit at home. But over there it's like -8 Celsius right now. Here it's +4. You know, no snow, beautiful weather. So, and I spent the first night in Mocksville, North Carolina, because it's a nice location, TA. And I got internet access card for 1 month for like 20 bucks. So now I'm gonna be. That's why my next stop, I looked on my truck stop directory to see another either TA or petrol, because I need to be able to use that. Okay, where's my bulldog? Oh, there you go. So I need to use that card, right? And I found a petrol, which is only about an hour away from here. But I don't feel like driving too much today. You know? But I don't want to drive too much tomorrow either. If I stay here, I will need to do 6 hours of driving tomorrow to be at the shipper Friday morning. So I don't want to do that. So now I'm gonna drive, what is it, like 130 kilometers just east on I-40. Basically get closer to the border with South Carolina. And there's a big petrol in there. And that's where we go. Okay, I got my logbook, seatbelt, get to walk around. Everything's good. Oh, and my boards are now dry. So, and I got some stuff I can spray them with. So I'm gonna do that. I just pull the trailer spike handle to check the brakes. Okay, I check my fifth wheel, because sometimes, you know, people joke by opening your fifth wheel. And как говорилось там в этом, такие шутки морду надо бить. Basically, you have to kick someone's teeth in, right? When they do a joke like that on you, because you can get killed. You can kill lots of people. But never happened to me, but one guy said it happened to him. So I always check the fifth wheel and my pin on the trailer that protects the gooseneck from disconnecting. Oh, that guy is buying fuel.
Freeway entrance on the left in 0.6 kilometers on I-40 East.
That's good to know. And as I mentioned in the previous video, there's a Walmart here, you know. Great location. So I got some groceries yesterday. And something's happening with me because of this diet. And the book I'm reading warned that this might happen. basically when you start eating lots of veggies and fruits and limit bad stuff like, you know, pasta, rice, bread, white potatoes, your body will try to get rid of the toxins, because now it'll be less preoccupied with digesting all that
Approaching
stuff.
freeway entrance on the left, on I-40 East.
And so you may feel sick, because all the bad stuff will be coming out of your body. And what happened to me is I started feeling sick, you know, like as if I have a cold, and I know that I don't. Like very bad case of running nose, you know, unbelievable. So this morning I just used my coupon for the free shower at the TA, because I bought some fuel before, so I have a free shower. And then it was like 7:30, and I couldn't sleep. So I just went to the restaurant and I said, give me some tea. And of course, when you're in US and you're asking that question, the server always counter questions with hot tea or iced tea. Because they don't drink here a regular tea, you know, as in other parts of the country and of the world. So most people drink iced tea, even in winter. So I got some hot tea, that's what they call it, hot tea. And then I got some salad. They open the salad bar. So. Alright. Now we're rolling. Look at the weather. December 31st. Beautiful. I love this. I don't want snow. I don't want white Christmas. You know, I want this. Blue sky, green grass, and warm air. That's what I want. And the cruise control is set today at 1375 RPM, 59 miles an hour, 95 kilometers an hour. All systems of the truck work in the proper fashion. Now, a couple of things I did that are important is when I went to that Walmart, I tried the communications department, see if they can help me with activating my phone, because I was trying to move my number from AT&T to Straight Talk, and they said something was wrong with the SIM card. Like, it shows that someone else is using the SIM card. And to my surprise, the girls at that particular Walmart in Knoxville, exit 170, they were pretty knowledgeable. You know, right away they said, "Oh, you want us to call them?" So they called them, and I agreed to buy another activation pack, another $60, but 45 is the 4 minutes, so I can use it next month, which is okay. But I have to pay $15 for the new SIM card, and then it occurred to me that it was my fault, because when I was activating it, I hit the back button on my computer. Something was wrong, and I had to re-enter it twice, and right away the Straight Talk system recognized that it's the same number that was used before, and basically I did it myself. You know, just when you do something online, like activating something, just be careful and enter only once. But now I tried, everything works, so I'm not gonna lose any calls, but I'm gonna save, you know, at least $15 every month, and I get more data, 3 gigs instead of 2. It works fine, and I tried to make some calls. Perfect. Oh, and I had to update those access point, like there's a special instruction where you have to add a few like words and numbers. otherwise the data would not work. So that's done. The phone works because I was thinking of maybe getting like iPad mini. Forget it. I now learned to type much faster on my smartphone by watching other people. I see everybody's using like just thumbs, right, and holding the phone with two hands. That way it's much faster. I cannot type with one finger. Because I talked to one girl, she has an iPad mini, and I said, so how do you type? And she said, I hold it in one hand and I use my index finger for typing. But that's like, why would I want to spend $800 to type with one finger? You know, of course the screen is better, but it's just ridiculous. I mean, just typing on these things, like typing a message, I don't know. It's a waste of time. And the next thing I did is I'm a bit scared of this excavator because it looks really big. I went to the cat.com website and I found a similar machine. And I watched some videos and I studied the specs. Basically I was doing my homework. And I was even able to see how the operator works inside, and to my relief, the controls are the joystick type, not those stupid pedals that I had on the previous machine. So here's joysticks for the boom, for the stick, and to rotate the tower, right? And then I think they still have the old type like levers in the floor that control the tracks, which makes it very easy to, you know, move the machine at a constant speed in one direction, because you can even release them and the machine will be moving. I hope they're like that, because you know, the most dangerous point in loading for me is you know, when the machine tries to tip over the ramp. So that's when you gotta be very delicate with the controls. And I'm gonna use the trick I saw another guy use with the stick. Like, he extends the boom and makes it work as a counterweight to keep the machine from hitting the deck too hard when it goes over the ramp, you know. But all in all, the tracks are, you know, I did these machines before, right? The tracks are only like 13 feet, and according to the website, it's 82,000 pounds. But my permit says, like the bond I have says 77. So I don't know. I'm gonna scale it once I'm loaded. But if it's 82, so that means I need 4 chains, direct tie downs, right? Or 8 chains indirect. So basically 4 long chains or 8 short chains, and that would be enough to cover 88,000 pounds. So that'll be fun tomorrow. But the trick is, Friday. The main part is get out of Maryland before 3 o'clock, because my permit says there'll be an escort, and I can only drive from 9 to 3. I don't know if the same restriction applies in Pennsylvania, but I'll be going from Maryland to Pennsylvania to New York, and then cross the bridge into Canada in Buffalo. So it's not too far, but I need to get into Pennsylvania pronto after loading.
Remain on the current road in 1 kilometer I-40 east.
Yeah, traffic becomes real crazy here near Winston-Salem. North Carolina. Just wanted to mention again the topic of health. To put things into perspective, I just got an email from my brother, well, this morning actually, when I was not driving, so please do not call Landstar Safety. But the email said that my 70-year-old
Remain
mom
on the current road I-40 east.
was taken to a hospital because she had high blood pressure. So she's 78, and she had some problems with heart problems, kidney problems, but She still moves around, still, you know, not overweight, keeps the same weight. And I know she doesn't eat too much meat and fish. She just tries to eat veggies because that's what she has to do because of the heart and kidneys. And it's surprising that all of a sudden she had like 250 pressure, you know, so they called the ambulance. They couldn't bring it down. So they had to take her around the corner in the same small town near Moscow and use some strong medication. And I just called her to see how she's doing, and she said, well, now I'm already smiling, now it's 150. So she's gonna spend the new year in the hospital all by herself, you know. So if you don't have health, you have nothing. So guys and gals, please take care of yourself. Eat good. And check out this Dr. Furman's tips. I believe in this guy. Now here's a quick summary of what I just said in Russian for my Russian viewers. Please, Americans, Canadians, don't get upset. Так, короче, что произошло? Я еду порожняком в Мэриленд. Буду грузить большой экскаватор в пятницу, потому что порт закрыт до пятницы. Груз платят обалденные бабки. И погоню 500 миль обратно в Канаду. Доставочка у меня будет в понедельник. То есть дофига времени. Только экскаватор здоровенный. Вот сегодня смотрел видео на интернете, пытался как бы ознакомиться со спецификациями. И поскольку это порт, грузить придется самому, то есть управлять этой здоровенной машиной весом в 37 тонн будет дядя Сережа. Если что-то случится, как бы сам виноват. Эти ребята, там у них трейд юнион, они не помогают абсолютно, просто показывают тебе, где находится машина, говорят, вон иди, ну машина, то есть экскаватор, машин по-английски. Еще я, значит, перегнал телефончик, перешел из AT&T Straight Talk. Это намного дешевле контора в Walmart, 45 баксов за неограниченные звонки, текст, то есть SMS по-русски, да, и 3 гигабайта интернет в месяц. Ну, в принципе, он не ограниченный, но 3 гигабайта high speed, то есть высокая скорость. Вот такие дела. Мать у меня положили в больницу, к сожалению, с высоким давлением. Сейчас сидит на таблетках, будет Новый год встречать в больнице. Желаю ей скорейшего выздоровления. И вообще всем желаю следить за своим здоровьем, поскольку если нет здоровья, то никакие деньги, никакие игрушки настроение не улучшат. Без здоровья жизнь — это полный хрен.
Keep to the right in 3 kilometers by 40 Business East US 421 South.
This is Greensboro, North Carolina, and I just passed a good-looking Mack truck, like, you know, show truck standing on a pedestal on the right, and I look at there's a big building, all glass, you know, like dark, very expensive-looking building. And as I was passing that building, I noticed a sign said Mack World Headquarters. Amazing. I did not even know that that's where the headquarters are. You know, I know the production is in near Allentown, and then the engines are built in Maryland. But Greensboro is where I guess the bureaucrats drop the anchor. Alright, which way am I going? 40. Do I need 40 or do I need... Because eventually I will need 85. Because I-85 goes to I-95.
Keep to the right in 1 kilometer by 40 Business East US 421 South.
Ah, okay. I guess I'll stay at 40. They're gonna merge anyway. 40 and 85, they merge at some point. I think.
I-40 Business East US 421 South.
Greensboro, O'Reilly. I think that's how it's pronounced, right? I'm not an expert. I'm a drive-by comedian. That's my new official title. Drive-by comedy. I'm driving a truck. The truck has an orange trailer. The weather is good. The load is booked. I'm driving an orange trailer. Now, a few words on a serious topic. I know some people are, watching my videos to learn about heavy haul. But if you don't get any experience, I would suggest starting with a flatbed or step deck. And I particularly prefer step decks because I had, what, like 3 of them? No, 2. First a 48 footer, then a 53 triaxle, and I got flatbeds before. And you can definitely make more money with step decks. My experience was with one Canadian company and the big American company, Landstar. And so now I'm going to give you guys some tips in case someone is thinking about speccing a step deck. So here's the perfect step deck from Uncle Sergei for work at Landstar. Okay. First of all, like the trailer I had before, 53 step 3-axle from Transcraft. That was a good trailer if you watch my earlier videos, but it had a couple of problems. First of all, I chose a very shallow kingpin position. I think it was 18, and because of that, the plant made the gooseneck, even when you're empty, the gooseneck was parallel to the ground. There was no, curve in it. So when I was loaded, the gooseneck was actually going down. It did not look good. And then later I checked, they even stopped offering 18-inch kingpin. And I played with these positions on all my other trailers. I had a 30-inch, I had this 18, 24, and from my personal experience, 24-inch is the best one. It allows you, it's not too short, not too long. You can still move the weight properly to the truck, so that's what I would recommend. So that was problem number 1 with my step deck. And problem number 2 was the steel, which actually is like 2 problems in one. And the only reason I went with steel was because at that time Transcraft offered only one model that could take 80,000 pounds and 4 feet of the deck, and you had to go with this steel heavy trailer. So everything was steel, not just cross members, but the rub rail, and that adds lots of weight. So since then, Transcraft introduced a model in a combo version, basically steel frame, aluminum top. So it's much lighter, but you can still choose that model for 80,000 pound and 4 feet capacity, which is perfect for a 3-axle trailer. And I would definitely go with a 3-axle because it gives you more opportunities. There's not that many of them because everybody has a step deck nowadays, so you need to stand out a little bit. And one other problem was I spec'd a 6-foot spacing, which is totally stupid because the rear axle, it's very hard to load the rear axle. It gets underloaded, whereas the front axle gets overloaded. Because if you haul a heavy load, as you probably noticed, even from these videos with the RGN, lots of heavy loads, they're very short. And so you have to put them in front of the front axle, and then your rear axle just goes in the air. And too much air in the back, So I would definitely not next time, but this is my last trailer. I'm sticking to the RGN, to floats, but my suggestion to step deck buyers is to go with a typical 5-foot spacing, because that's the perfect one, and of course has air lifts on at least least middle axle and probably rear axle, basically as many as possible, because that will save you fuel and tire wear. You know? Oh, and one last thing, so yeah, I had aluminum boards, which are okay, but they're easy to damage. Maybe, you know, wooden deck. It's even though it's heavier and not as strong, but sometimes can be preferable, especially when you haul equipment. But one other thing, one other area that I would improve on that trailer, so it has to be a 53, right? 53 footer, because you need to have at least 40 feet on the bottom, otherwise you'll be losing loads to flatbeds. But the top deck, what I would do if I was buying it again, I would make the wall between the upper deck and the bottom deck sloped. I don't care what everybody says, you know, but it makes it so much easier to load the machinery, like when you need to bring the front axle, let's say of a farm tractor on the top. You know, it's safer, and I would spec, let's say, 12-foot upper deck, 41-foot bottom, and then make that sloped wall or drop. And so the upper deck, the usable upper deck, would probably be like 10 feet, which is still okay. You know, but that would be a great trailer. So combo, 3 axles, all aluminum wheels, 5-foot spacing between axles, as many airlift axles as possible, strobe lights for oversized loads, and high capacity model, 80,004 feet. And I like Transcraft because these trailers are very cheap and they're durable, you know. Oh, and another thing why I didn't like steel was not only because of the heavy weight, but also, especially if you work in a cold climate areas, if it gets scratched, it starts rusting like crazy, right? And the trailer is not looking good even after a few months. So combo is the way to go. Aluminum is not so good because you cannot get that high capacity. And what's the point of getting a 3-axle trailer if your frame cannot support the weight? Right? So that's my recommendation. So take it or leave it. That's what I would get for myself if I was doing this thing again at Landstar. Okay, here's my exit. 157. Oh, there's a Dunkin' Donuts in here. I love that coffee. Oh, and 2 things I wanted to add.
Prepare to exit on the right on exit 157 Buckhorn Road, followed by keep to the left.
They see on the sign on the right says Petrol BP Valero. So 2 things to add to the spec that I forgot to mention. So first of all, the wheelbase, or the distance from the kingpin to the center axle on the Tridem. I tried
keep to the left, Buckhorn Road.
I tried 40, I tried 41, and especially with the what? I think petrol is on the right, not on the left. Yeah. My GPS screwed up again. Yeah, so I think it should be with the lift axles, because you can decrease your wheelbase, right, when you lift your axles. So 41 would be the best, because this will allow you to spread the weight, you know. But of course, it's not easy to drag a trailer like that.
U-turn in 120 meters.
It's not easy to drag a trailer like that around, but you can always lift an axle. So I would go with 41. And another thing is the tie downs.
Left turn in 0.6 kilometers on West 10 Road, West 10 Road.
So you definitely need extra tie downs, not just the stake pockets. And on my step deck trailer, I had okay, parking this way. I spec'd D-rings, and also I had in-floor tie downs. And one word about those, I didn't like the in-floor tie downs. They were a pain in the butt because they get stuck when you pull them out, and then you cannot pull them back in, at least on the Transcraft trailer. And I was not just too happy with them. But I liked the D-rings, and most of the time I used either D-rings in the floor that I spec'd, or most often, of course, the stake pockets. You just loop a chain around them, you know, and of course you need winches, as many as possible. Maybe what, I don't know, I had 14. Oh, beautiful. Oh, I think I was at this truck stop before with when I had that space station, like an escalator for a shopping center, and it was covered in my black tarp. And I was joking, saying,
when possible, make a legal U-turn. Private run lane.
Really? Okay, we'll do that. I think I'll just park somewhere here, far away from everybody. I parked, so yeah, I would add container locks and D-rings flush on the floor, and I would not go with the inflow tie downs. Oh, and I'm looking at my odometer. I just broke over 12,000. My odometer on my Mack is 12007. 12,007 miles in what, like 2 months? No, October, November, December, more like 3 months. What? Oh, probably 2 months. That's not good. Anyway, now we're gonna go and check out the truck stop. I want to get again that dash cam I had before, because yeah, this flip, it's a good camera, but it's not too good for dash cam function, because the angle is not as wide and the audio is not as good. So I might get that Blue Tiger that I had before. Oh yeah, and this flip, I have to detach it each time. I have to transfer the video to the computer. I have to detach the camera from the windshield mount, like unscrew it, you know, because the arm, the USB little arm that you use to transfer, it's not flexible. I cannot just bring my laptop and hook it up. So it's a pain in the butt. But if you have one of those dash cams, all you do is just pop out the SD card, and that's it. Put it into your computer. Beautiful. Oh, and then I'll go and check out this Petro Loop, see what they have, what kind of pricing they have on synthetic oil, if they have it in stock. Well, thanks for watching, and Happy New Year. Today is the last day of the year, so see you guys in 1 year. Happy holidays. Happy 2015. I'm Uncle SERGEI, somewhere in North Carolina.